People say that the price of the iPhone 17 Pro will go up, but a much-needed storage boost could help. Apple's iPhones aren't cheap, and if you want to buy one, you'll have to pay a lot more than usual. Sadly, there are signs that the price of the iPhone 17 Pro could go up when it comes out in a month, although it might come with an upgrade that makes the price increase a little less painful. Recently, the Chinese social media site Weibo had a conversation on the price rise with the leaker Instant Digital. Instant Digital reported with some confidence that the iPhone 17 Pro would cost $50 higher than the iPhone 16 Pro, bringing its price to $1,049. It is not yet clear if this rumored price rise would happen all across the world or just in the US. The insider didn't say if the price of the entry-level iPhone 17 will also go up, but the Wall Street Journal has written about this possibility separately. If this is true, it's a regrettable turn of events, but not one that was completely unexpected. President Donald Trump's trade tariffs have raised prices for practically every business that has to deal with them, and in many cases, those expenses are being passed on to customers. Combined with increased component costs, the $50 rise doesn't exactly come out of the blue. Still, Instant Digital touched on the question of whether the iPhone 17 Pro might improve its standard storage from 128 gigs to 256 gigs, although they noted that they were dubious of if the capacity bump will truly happen. If it does happen, it could be a smart way for Apple to explain the $50 price increase and make it a little easier to swallow. On-device or internet storage. The greatest iPhones provide numerous market-leading features, but one area where they've lagged behind their rivals is internal storage. The iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Plus, and iPhone 16 Pro all start with 128 gigs of storage, but several rival phones offer more in their base-level offers. The iPhone 16 Pro Max starts with 256 gigs of storage, but it's also the most costly phone in Apple's portfolio. If the $1,049 iPhone 17 Pro also comes with 256 gigs of storage as standard, it may essentially be perceived as delivering a $50 price drop compared to the 256 gigs iPhone 16 Pro, which now costs $1,099. That's so, buyers might not be happy with having to pay additional $50 on top of the iPhone's beginning price, especially if they don't feel they'll use that extra storage. I'm not too worried about buying a 128 gigs iPhone. I did precisely that when I got my iPhone 16 Pro, as I've never come close to running out of space, partially because I used 200 gigs of Apple's iCloud storage to keep my iPhone images. That costs me $2.99 a month, and I'd have to keep my iPhone for 34 months before my Phone Plus iCloud subscription becomes more expensive than just buying a 256 gigs iPhone up front, yet it still gives me more total space than a 256 gigs phone would. By the time those 34 months are up, I may easily have decided to switch to a newer iPhone, making a 128 gigs iPhone and iCloud storage combination a decent deal in my opinion. But it's not for everyone, and many people will prefer a more capacious iPhone to coping with a 128 gigs phone and an iCloud membership. For those people, the iPhone 17 Pro might deliver good news, assuming the higher base storage estimate proves out to be right. We'll know for sure when Apple introduces its new devices to the globe this September. Apple's next crop of iPhones will be introduced in September, it looks like. Read this for exactly when in that month they'll hit the streets. And a new report claims that the Pro variants of the iPhone 17 series will include something no iPhone has ever had before, an anti-reflective screen. What's more, the predicted alteration to the iPhone 17 Pro's camera bump has now been explained by the possibility that there could be a considerably higher optical zoom on one camera. Meanwhile, a fresh source claims to show every design across the iPhone 17 range, including an unexpected new color. There have already been reports that the iPhone 17 Pro Max is going to be thicker than before, that the Apple logo on the rear may relocate to a new position, and that the phones may have new screen sizes. Those are fascinating design modifications, but a new screen tech might be extremely appealing. Think about it. Gorgeous though the current iPhone 16 Pro screen is, sometimes you've been gazing at it in bright light and have had to squint or position it to see it well above adjacent reflections. So, a screen that's as immaculate as the present ones, but is easier to see, will be a definite upgrade. This is what's guaranteed by someone regarded as a reliable source. The anti-reflective display has been rumored for some months, and the latest source offers another benefit: increased scratch resistance. The display is, after all, the major way you engage with your smartphone, so the more enticing it looks, the more you'll use your phone. The current display on the iPhone 16 Pro and iPhone 16 Pro Max looks amazing, with Apple's ProMotion technology with its constantly shifting refresh rate, keeping everything appearing smooth and providing clever features like the always-on display. Since it's anticipated that the ordinary iPhone 17 will undergo a screen upgrade to offer a higher refresh rate than the present 60Hz display, though likely not the dynamic refresh rate that characterizes ProMotion, the Pro versions may require something additional to tell them apart. An anti-reflective screen might achieve precisely that, with enhanced scratch resistance as the frosting on the cake. Meanwhile, the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max are predicted to sport new cameras, and a recent rumor indicates that one camera would have 8x optical zoom. The current telephoto has 5x zoom, so this would be a major upgrade. One of the frequent speculations about the iPhone's forthcoming design is that the camera hump on the rear would be greater than it now. To accommodate a bigger optical zoom, physics necessitate varying distances between sensor and glass. The new report claims the iPhone 17 Pro models will let you switch between 5x and 8x optical zoom without tricks like sensor cropping. A moving telephoto lens would require additional parts and internal space, which would explain why the camera hump is projected to rise in size this year, it says. While this may affect allegations that the bulge was battery-related, this latest rumor might bring a substantial camera increase, and an 8x optical zoom equivalent would be a first. Sonny Dixon, a leaker with a strong track record, has joined the design debate relating to the colors for the next series of iPhones. Another tipster, Majin Buu, just uploaded a video showing the iPhone 17 Pro in 5 colors. See complete information here, but Dixon, in a new post on X, displays photographs of just 4. The gray indicated by the other leaker is missing from Dixon's collection, instead showing black, white, dark blue, and the surprise color, orange. The new orange really stands out this year. Definitely a bold addition, Dixon remarked. If right, it really is a contrast to the muted colors Apple has employed in the iPhone 16 Pro range, where even the shade advertised as being gold turned out to be understated, desert titanium. Dixon's other dummies indicate a significantly calmer array of colors for the iPhone 17 than the iPhone 16 had. Instead of the brilliant ultramarine and teal, the 4 shown by Dixon are black, white, a pale blue, and a dusty pink. Interestingly, that's just 4 colors, whereas the iPhone 16 range has 5. Is Dixon missing something, or is Apple simplifying the color range? The 4th phone in the series, nicknamed the iPhone 17 Air, is also supposed to arrive in 4 colors, but they are not the same as the iPhone 17. That's a shift from the current hues, which are same across the 2 non-Pro iPhones, the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Plus. Instead, the report depicts 3 comparable, but probably not identical hues, black, white, and pale blue, with a pale gold as the 4th color. This is more geeky and less obvious to ordinary phone owners, but that's also kind of the goal. The iPhone 16e shipped with Apple's C1 cellular modem, Apple's first homebrew cellular hardware, and has been striving to manufacture in order to wean its dependence on Qualcomm, which has provided the modem hardware in prior iPhone models. However, the C1 lacks a faster millimeter wave cellular network and doesn't support Wi-Fi 7, even though it's more conservative about power usage and still performs well, an acceptable trade-off for the budget phone in Apple's portfolio. But for the iPhone 17 Pro Max, we're talking about the next professional versions, and an iPhone Pro in 2025 can't launch without the latest, fastest wireless technology. It would be more plausible to see Apple stick with Qualcomm for the Pro line than add the C1, but I suspect a C2 is coming. The Wi-Fi 7 compatibility could be offered via a separate dedicated chip designed by Apple. You don't have to be an ardent follower of the Netherlands national football team to love the color orange. Leaker Majin Buu revealed renders of the new color lineup for iPhone 17 Pro variants, and one of them is wonderfully ginger. Not only is this noteworthy because orange is orange, but because it would be a break from Apple's current line of cool, muted colors for the Pro lineup. There are also speculations that the iPhone lineup will include a new sky blue hue, about which I have feelings. I don't hide my iPhone in a cover, so being able to show off a bold color sounds like a nice idea. These aren't the only iPhone 17 Pro rumors we're watching, but right now, they're the ones that have me glancing at my calendar and wishing September could arrive just a little faster. So, that's all we know for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we have more information. Thanks for watching.